Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, I'm going to suggest, and I mean this absolutely seriously, that John Swinney needs to go and seek psychiatric help. I think the delusions are taking over now. I think he's living in some kind of self-made, false reality. Certainly not the reality in which we live. Because what he's doing and saying can only be the actions of someone whose brain is fractured and damaged some way. I don't know if he's had a stroke. I don't know if he's had some kind of breakdown. I don't know what's going on, but something in him is broken and he really needs to get professional help. I spoke yesterday how he firmly believed that in an independent Scotland, he says, if anything goes wrong, but it'll be when everything goes wrong and when the economy crashes, that the Bank of England and Britain would go and help us out and recover us. They won't, because that's not what independence is. That's still running home to mummy. But now, even more delusional. He was asked what can only be described as a very simple question. And then the answer that came from him was, are you kidding me? He was asked what the Scottish Government's biggest education failure was. And boy, there's loads of them. But he said, and he insisted, that there weren't any. Of course, now everyone is mocking him, including me and now you, vicariously. But he's insisted that there hasn't been anything going wrong with education in Scotland in the last 18 years, even though consistently results are going down the toilet. In fact, so bad and so embarrassingly bad that even Sturgeon said, right, we're not posting the results on the International League tables anymore. That's how bad it was. You've got Scotland's schools being rated the worst in the developed world for discipline. You have powers taken away from head teachers who cannot expel or suspend pupils for bad behaviour. Teachers are being sexually abused and then having to go back into the classroom and see the abuser still sitting there, smirking, because the head teachers had the power removed to get rid of them. Because the SNP want to micromanage everything. They want total control. They don't want anyone further down the tree to have any kind of authority or say on any matter of public life. Because if they're not controlling it, then, oh God, something terrible might happen. Something might go right. He himself faced a vote of no confidence when he was the Education Secretary after the Scottish Qualifications Agency wrongly downgraded exam results from pupils based solely on their parents' income. Poorer area, mark you down. It's as though he's ignoring reality. And then he sits there and says there's been no big failures, no mistakes, nothing's gone wrong, nothing's gone fucking right. And at the moment you've got Jenny Gilruth, who hasn't got a bloody clue. You'd think she would, her being an ex-teacher, but she hasn't got a clue what she's doing. She's destroying schools faster than anything you like. You've got the whole poisoned concrete scenario where schools are closing. They've built a school, found it was the wrong design, far too small, and the bill to fix it was more than the original build cost of the damn school. And then he goes on, we've got more people from deprived backgrounds going to university. Yes, but not in fucking Scotland. Can't get into the Scottish ones. They're filled with Johnny foreigners. Because free education in Scotland. Yeah, but they can't afford it. And there's limited places. He is delusional. And I'm not saying that. Everyone is. You know? Everyone is saying this. It's just as though he literally can't see reality. Now, Douglas Ross said he's delusional. He said that what was once the jewel in the crown of education, Scottish education, he says is now destroyed. The SNP, he said, over the last 18 years have taken a wrecking ball to it. And it's an entire generation. 18 years, it's an entire generation. Kids going into school to Scotland today have no hope. And they keep pledging, we're going to eliminate the poverty-related attainment gap. One, it's bigger than ever. And two, how about not concentrating on that shit and concentrating on discipline in schools? That alone will raise standards immensely. And it doesn't cost anything. All you got to do is say to their teachers, okay, if the little shits are misbehaving, fuck them off. But they won't, because that means giving power to head teachers, and they don't like that. And then they've got the whole, at the moment, the big one is, oh, girls and boys have got to have separate toilets. Oh, no. But we want men to go into the girls' changing rooms. It's an abysmal record, and he says nothing's wrong. This is why I say he needs psychiatric help. I think he's gone. He's gone. He cannot function as a human being that delusional, surely. And it's not just him, it's all of them. It's every single minister in every single department. They all believe that everything is going swimmingly, that everything is perfect. The building's on fire. And they're just sitting there going, well, it's all going well, isn't it? But he is the boss. He's the ringleader. He's the one that must take the rap. But will he? He won't. He can't admit it. They're all the same, aren't they? They've got to the top. Sturgeon couldn't. Hamza Yousaf couldn't. And now he can't. They can never admit that they've ever got anything wrong, even though it's as plain as the bald pate of the top of his head that he's got it wrong. In his mind, he's probably got a thick, luxurious hair. He combs it up into a quiff every morning, Elvis style, because that's the world he's living in. But we can all see the emperor's got no hair. What do they... Did they sit in little rooms working out what can we believe in now? Either that, or they're on some good shit drugs. But there's no way out. There's no way back. He's done, isn't he? He's mental. I wonder what they're going to ask him next. What about the roads? Are they the best roads in the world? Oh, they're the best roads in the world. You know. What about our ferries? We've got the finest naval ferries in the world. Look at the millions of them working perfectly well. This is the delusion they live in. Anyway, I shall leave that there. It's gone on too long. Thanks very much. Keep an eye out for the next video. Also, if you're interested in the Scottish videos, I'm just going to push this, I do have a Scottish-only channel called Silver Fox Scotland. Kind of gives it away what it's about. It's me talking about Scottish news stories. But if you want that, please do go and have a look for Silver Fox Scotland. And that is exclusively Scottish stories. So anyway, there we go. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.